Hey Andy, here at Cymru Beats, AKA Mutegroup.
Yeah.
You have a very, it seems like a very uniform system here. It looks lovely. What's take us through the layout?
I can start with a Makenoise shared system case. So we've got a few of the things that come with the shared system, the DPO and the maths, pretty kind of well-known modules. The René and pressure point sequencers, and I've got the tempi as well, which works really well with the René.
A lot of people are really digging the tempi.
I think it's brilliant. I think that the two together are made for each other. Just to kind of, I really like modules that you can play, not too much with the menus and things, and it's just really kind of intuitive to, send different clock signals to the René and vary the tempo and the polyrhythms and how it shifts them around. I think they really work really well together. And then a couple of the mutable things in here, so the elements, which is going to be doing sort of percussive sounds later, and the braids doing sort of the same thing, some percussion. And the latest thing I've got is this 4MS dual looping delay, which is, I think that's...
Are you using that for looping or are you using it for delaying?
A bit of both. It's quite new to performing with modular and stuff. This is only going to be the second show that I've done like this, but I've done
Me too.
Yeah, okay. But I'm quite used to doing like looping with guitars and stuff in the past, so it's good having that here for like the sound on sound and having two of them and the way they interact and the ability to...
So you say it's you're new to modular performance. What brought you to do it, and how did you approach it differently to anything else?
The stuff I've been doing, I mean, I've been playing for years. I used to do like electronic pop song stuff under the name Pagan Wanderer Lou, which was very very electronic in terms of backing, but the way I would perform would be with a laptop that was basically just a backing track and then singing and playing guitar over the top. It was very sort of, you press play, you play, and then the song finishes. And this is very much about like improvising and doing something that's, I don't know what's going to happen. It's quite...
And how do you, because obviously one of the keys to that is understanding how to bring it back if it goes wrong or something unexpected goes on. I mean, is that something you're still, obviously you probably are still discovering, but do you, is that the bit that you enjoy the most?
I think it's kind of knowing when to kind of kick the modular in a way that it's going to surprise you and then reacting to that. And so if you do enough of that, then the bits that are an actual legit mistake you can kind of get away with, because it probably also, the bits that are a mistake and the bits that are you surprising yourself probably sound the same.
So what's the situation with it? Is this mostly a kind of instrumental ambient stuff, because I'm struggling to see there was any beats going on in there, which is...
beats aren't going to be a big part of it today. There'll be a little bit from the Peaks module there, the kind of multifunction, a little bit of beats from that, but it is, maybe the start of it will be kind of ambient, but later it will get a bit more kind of structured and arpeggiated and that sort of thing. Beats aren't going to be a big part of it today.
I've noticed that a couple of people are using the same Makenoise kind of layout with this central patch panel.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't got that. Did you just think that makes so much sense to me? I mean, I'm not quite sure how it works. So how does this fit into the whole?
Well, this was what I started with. The first thing I bought was the shared system. I mean, it's 4 multiples. So you've got channel 1 there, and that's got, what's that going into it? That's got the clock. So you can see the light above it.
Yeah.
That is the clock, and so that's coming from the Stilson Hammer sequencer through another multiple, and then so everything on that row with the white line at the bottom, every green blinking light is a clock source. So it's also clocking the verb, it's clocking the DLD. Everything that kind of you want to keep in time is being clocked via the multiple in the middle, and then I've also got the René pitch out going to the multiple, so that's the orange one. I think the pitch out from the Stilson Hammers go into the central bus.
So it's
as well.
like a busing system.
Yeah, and it's got the visual feedback as well of those LEDs, and if it's bipolar it goes up and down, and it's just really handy because you can kind of see automatically what you're doing.
So what's the newest thing that you've put in the system that you're not quite sure whether it's going to work out or not yet?
Well, the newest one is the DLD, the dual looping delay, which is kind of central to the whole thing. So it's been all right so far in practice. The thing that kind of throws me is the Mistron. They're like oscillators, like wavetable oscillator, very kind of oscillator kind of string sounds coming out of that. and it's kind of got a bit of a mind of its own, and it doesn't always do exactly what I think it's going to do, and it doesn't always play the note I think it's going to play.
So when you're preparing for something like this, are you rehearsing, or do you prefer not to rehearse because it becomes too structured? I mean, how do you tend to...
At the moment, because I'm quite new to doing it, I've been rehearsing quite a lot and recording each rehearsal sort of from start to finish, and trying to like aim for about 20 minutes to half an hour, and then listening to it back quite a lot as well to see what works. Because I'm trying to aim for something that people who are not bothered about what I'm actually doing, not bothered about what modules are, something that they'll still find interesting to listen to. And I've tried like starting from completely unpatched, from scratch, from nothing, and it's fun for me, but it ends up with like huge stretches where, from the listener's point of view, nothing's happening.
Well, actually, I mean, because you said you started off as a looper artist with guitars. I mean, that's always the difficulty there, isn't it? Because you've got to build something, and it's the building part that's hard to do in a way that keeps the audience engaged, right?
I mean, I think what I like about the DLD is this idea that it's a looping delay, so it kind of, you can get like quite a long repeat of something happening, and you can set the level at which it dies away again, and it's not something I've done before. Like with guitar pedals, it's often the more you pile on, like the old stuff just stays there and it just becomes mush eventually. But whereas that, if you set the kind of feedback levels right, it evolves rather than kind of just becoming overwhelming. You can do that as well if you want, but it naturally kind of decays in a way that lends itself to progressing as a
So is it multi-track? It must be. Is it multi-track then? To be able to do that?
Well, there's two, so they're both the same. There's like that side is one delay, that side's another. You clock them both the same. If you don't patch anything into the input of B, then it's naturally normal from the output of A. So you could have like that doing a short delay, and just like classic kind of repeats, and then that acting as a loop of the delayed signal from A. You could do that. So in that sense, it's sort of multi-track.
Very flexible.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I think it's great.
So we'll look forward to it tonight. We will be streaming this. Obviously, if you're watching this video, the stream will have already happened. But we'll put some of it into this as well. So how can people find out more about you and your music? At
the moment, the Mutegroup stuff is just on SoundCloud. So soundcloud.com/mutegroups. And if you want to listen to the stuff that I did a while ago, it's on bandcamp.com/paganwandererLu. That's more like song-based stuff.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thanks, Nick.